Hi everyone, welcome to our next class. In last class, you learned about layers of soil and how topsoil is important for growing plants. What does it contain? What's the meaning of humus? This all you learned. So, humus means the dead and decayed parts of plants and animals, right, children? So, dead parts of the plants and dead parts of animals, their body is made up of by nutrients. That's why we can say it as organic matter. Okay. So, this organic matter is very important for growing plants. For example, if that topsoil flies away or removed by someone, you imagine that layer, the upper layer is removed. That condition is called soil erosion. Then how actually soil erosion takes place? You can see in the picture, children, this water is moving. So this running water, when it is moving forcefully, it can take the topsoil along with this water. Okay? So rain is one cause for soil erosion. So in our today's class, what are the other things causing for the soil erosion we will see. So now you understood what's the meaning of soil erosion, how to stop the soil erosion, and how can we save the soil, you will learn in today's class. Saving the topsoil is only known as conservation. So, meaning of soil erosion is removal of topsoil is called soil erosion. Protecting and saving this topsoil is known as soil conservation. So, to understand how soil erosion taking place in our surroundings, we'll do one small activity. So, for this, you need two potted plants. One pot with full of plants and the another pot with only single plant. As I'll show you in the picture, according to that you arrange for the class. Okay. So in this picture you can see clearly how soil erosion is taking place due to moving water. So to understand more about this, we'll do this activity. You need two potted plants. One pot is with full of grass, covered totally, the topsoil totally covered by the plants. In another pot, we planted only a single plant. Okay? Arrange like this. Make an arrangement like this. And now slowly with a fan, our table fans will be no. A small table fan use and bring near these two pots and blow the air strongly. Let your table fan is on the number 5 and blow the air into pot A and also to pot B. What happens? You just observe and note down your observation in the notebook. So you guess it what actually happens. Before your guess, we'll move on to the keywords what actually you can learn in this lesson. One is soil erosion, S-O-I-L soil, E-R-O-S-I-O-N erosion. Soil erosion means removal of the top layer of the soil by wind or by the water, known as soil erosion. Okay, this is the new word where you never learnt about this. Now next one is soil conservation. SOIL soil, CON con, SER conserve, VATION vation. Conservation means protection of the soil from soil erosion, called as soil conservation. Next is deforestation. DEDFORES forest, TATION station, forestation. Deforestation meaning cutting down of trees in large number. When we cut the trees in huge amount, that's known as deforestation. Next word is afforestation. AFFORFORESTATION. Afforestation means growing the plants by keeping saplings, growing more and more plants, and to make a forest is known as afforestation. So these all are new words to you children, which are very essential for your coming classes. So learn these spellings along with the meaning. So now you have an answer for your activity, I think so. What happens when you bring a table fan near these two plants, two potted plants, and blow the air strongly? You can guess it. The topsoil flies away from the pot B, but near the pot A, you could not see the removal or flying of topsoil. What's the reason? Can you guess? Why? Because pot A have more number of plants. So their roots are holding the topsoil. Their roots are not allowing the topsoil to fly away. Where in pot B, only a single plant is there. So it couldn't hold the topsoil. Alone it can't hold. So by this activity, what you are understanding? The wind is one of the cause for soil erosion. Okay? Now one more activity we'll see how this is causing for soil erosion. You take a potted plant as you did in before experiment, same way, and you keep it that plant slantingly. That pot you keep it in slanting way as shown in the figure. And you pour water, 1 cup of water you pour to this potted plant. Many potted plants are there and you gave water to these plants. Now keep slantingly and observe, is there any water coming back from this potted plant to the plastic cup again? So can you understand? You give water to the plants and again try to collect that water back. Is it possible to collect the water from these potted plants? Could not. Why? Because these plants' roots are absorbing that water. So they are very important. The plants are holding the water. The plants are holding the topsoil so that the topsoil is not running away with water. Suppose if this pot without any plants, when you pour water, can you collect it back again? Most of the water is absorbed by the soil and little water you can get back. So by this activity, what you are understanding? The plants are holding the topsoil. They are not allowing the topsoil to fly away by wind or by the water. Okay, so removal of topsoil known as soil erosion. It's causing by moving wind or by the water, sometimes by overgrazing in a small area when a large group of animals gathered there because of their footsteps, the topsoil flies away. So this is also one of the cause for soil erosion. So soil erosion occurring by wind, by water, and by deforestation. Deforestation means when we cut many number of trees, so there won't be the trees to hold the topsoil. That is also one of the cause for soil erosion. Yes. Then, is it good for us? Shall we let it go as it is? Is the soil erosion good for human beings or bad for us? Definitely it's not good. When the topsoil flow blows away, we could not grow the plants. When plants are not there, we could not get our food. So we have to stop the soil erosion so that would be benefit for us. Yes. Now how to stop the soil erosion, how to conserve the soil, we will discuss now after watching this video. So to understand more about soil erosion, watch this video.
Soil erosion is the removal of the top layer of soil. It is caused by deforestation, overgrazing, improper farming methods, heavy rainfall, and winds. We can conserve soil by reforestation, step farming on hills, avoiding overgrazing, and making windbreaks.
Understood, children? So you can see how the soil erosion is taking place. Soil erosion means removal of topsoil.
Soil erosion is the removal of the top layer of soil.
You can see
it
the
is caused by deforestation, overgrazing,
erosion.
improper farming methods, heavy rain.
So deforestation, when the people are cutting trees on large scale, overgrazing n number of animals at same place, uh, dust, storm, wind, and rain. These are the causes for soil erosion. Then how to stop the soil erosion and how to conserve the
rainfall
soil
and winds. We can conserve soil by reforestation, step farming on hills, avoiding overgrazing, and making windbreaks.
So by reforestation, can also called as afforestation, means growing n number of trees, n number of plants. Each child has to take care of one plant compulsory, so that when the plants are there, their roots will hold the topsoil. Then we can stop the soil erosion. And by step farming, when we do the step farming on topsoil, when you water, that water can come to the next layer, from next layer to another layer. So here plants are there, they'll hold the topsoil, then soil erosion won't takes place. So by step farming, by reforestation, by wind breakers, when we grow the plants in rows, the soil erosion can be reduced. So by following all these ways, we can save or conserve the soil. Understood? So now we will discuss based on your activity. What you learnt in your activity will once see the questions when you answer. That shows that you understood this concept. Which potted plant was affected more by the blowing of air and the running water, and why? You know, the potted plant with loose soil was affected more by blowing air and running water. Air and water take away the top layers of the soil when they are loose. This process is called soil erosion. By your activity, you understood already this. What are the causes of soil erosion? How can we prevent it from happening? Just now we discussed it. How can practices like step farming or having windbreakers help to conserve the soil? Means their roots will hold the topsoil so that they are helping to conserve the soil. Yes, you can see the topsoil step forming, how beautiful picture it is. And windbreakers are trees planted in many rows. This way of planting stops the soil erosion. Yes, so this is called step farming, so that the excess water will not lead to the soil erosion. Even the wind cannot cause for soil erosion. Understood, children? So now we will discuss the workbook questions. What are the questions given in workbook? Windbreakers are trees planted in many rows. So this way of planting causes the wind to lose speed as it travels and prevents the soil erosion. So it is helping to reduce the speed of wind when you plant the sapling in rows, many rows. So this is only called as windbreaker. It stops the speed of wind. Now we will move on to the worksheet. What questions are given in this particular content, we'll see and try to answer it. Look at the picture and write the name of the cause of soil erosion. So what this person is actually doing is cutting the plants in large scale. So this process is known as deforestation. Deforestation. He is doing deforestation which causes for soil erosion. I gave you a hint. You can write your own answer. Now see the next question. There are many tall trees that support the growth of several plants and animals in a rainforest. They are now in danger of being destroyed due to deforestation. How will this also result in soil erosion in the long term? So when there are no trees, lot of soil erosion takes place. No, roots to bind the topsoil. To bind the topsoil. So this leads to that particular soil to become unfertile and we cannot grow the plants on it on that particular land. Now the next question, write two ways in which soil erosion can be prevented. Just now we discussed this by planting more trees, that is called by afforestation. Sorry, this answer, right? By afforestation or reforestation, also you can say this. By doing afforestation, by growing windbreakers, by growing the windbreakers. Windbreaker means growing the plants in many rows so that they'll reduce the speed of wind. So windbreakers also helping to stop the soil erosion. Now the last question, grass is grown on a piece of land that was barren. How can this action help prevent soil erosion during a storm? So when there is so many grass plants, these grass roots holds the topsoil and reduce the soil erosion and reduce the soil erosion. and reduce soil erosion. In this way, the growing grass on barren land helps us a lot. Understood, children? Now, nicely you read this content from 18.4 and you try to answer the practice questions which are given in this 18.4. Deforestation leads to soil conservation or soil erosion? Soil erosion. And animals may cause soil erosion by deforestation or by overgrazing. When many animals will gather at one place, their footsteps may cause for soil erosion. Along with their footsteps, they may take away the topsoil. How do these actions help to reduce the soil erosion? Step forming is done on hills. So when we do the step forming, the speed of the wind get reduced or else the water gets stopped in each step so that soil erosion will not take place. Animals are taken for grazing to different places instead of the same place so that group of animals won't be at one place so that there is no chance of soil erosion. Sam is working for the protection of plants and is fighting against deforestation. So, who your suggestion to educate the people about soil erosion? So you had to educate the people in your surroundings by saying that by to grow more plants, everybody has to take care of at least one plant so that we can conserve the soil. So read this 18.4 and answer these practice questions and the workbook questions, and we'll discuss about the practice questions in tomorrow's class. Thank you, children.